Hi, my name is Joseph. I'm the National Educator with Estetique, and I want to introduce you to our LipoMax RF face and body. Let's check it out. So we're going to start in the abdomen here. So I want to show you the marking of where we're going to be tracing and then also the patterns in which we're going to be going. So to start off, we're going to be working within this diameter area. So we're going to go through and we're just going to make tick marks to keep within the radius that we're working. It's a little ticklish, I know. There we go. So we're going to create that circular area, and this is where we're going to be starting in. So I am going to grab our vegetable glycerin. You do not want to use any type of petroleum gels or going through with massage oils. They can clog the machine. A simple thin layer of vegetable glycerin will do the trick. Grab a nice soft brush. This might tickle a little bit. And we're just going to glide this through. Now, if you notice, I'm doing circular motions. I'm also staying clockwise. The entire time we're doing procedures in the abdomen, you want to stay in a clockwise motion. That makes sure that we're staying in line naturally with our body functions through the small and large intestine. If you go in a counterclockwise motion, especially once you have the photopneumatic massage going and the pulse, you can cause any type of stomach discomfort or constipation. So in order to keep your client comfortable and no downtime or anything or discomfort, you're going to stay in a clockwise motion the entire time. So we're going to be using the large handpiece. So we have our RF at about a 25%. Our vacuum is going to be at a 2. We don't want a lot of pressure with that vacuum to get started. And our pulse rate is going to be maxed at a 7. 1 through 7, we're going to put it all the way up. All right, and we're going to start now, and we're going to go right into a circular motion. So I just kind of like to get a little bit of this prepped and going so also the metal pieces aren't cold on your client. So I heat it up just a little bit in the hand, and we're going to start in. We're going to be using our large headpiece for the full body. We're just going to start in a nice circular motion, and we're going to go from there. So we're going to start in a circular motion here. Again, the reason why we're staying in a circular motion is to keep with the body's natural rhythm in the small and large intestine. We don't want to go counterclockwise because we can cause constipation or discomfort for your client. So we're going to start in a nice clockwise motion, just gliding right through. As you notice, I start at the outer perimeter and I slowly move inwards, and I keep that circle radiating back out along our perimeter. Once we get a nice rhythm going and we get the body and the client acclimated, we can start moving into an up and down area. Now we're working through our grid massage. So we're going through and we're using an up and down cross section. And we're going to start moving out to the outer sides in that nice up and down fashion. And you can notice how smooth that glides. I'm holding it like a pen. The machine is doing all the work for me without having to really manipulate it. Once we have that, we're going to go into our clockwise motion again, rotate around, and now we can go across the body. We're doing that cross section. We can work that up and down as we go side to side. The circular motion in your grid massage is going to be a great cross between different motions in order to transition smoothly and not have to remove your handpiece and feel awkward. Now, when you're treating an area, you can use a temperature gun, or you can also use the back of your hand. So a nice way to feel is when it starts to feel like warm bath water, you know you're in a good spot to start transitioning. So we could now go to the sides and start contouring here and move around. So once that hits nice bathwater temperature, or you're in within a 38 to 42 degree temperature, you know you've hit that sweet spot and you want to move on, and then you can come back to it. Once you come back, again, start in with those nice clockwise motions. All right, so we already have mapped out from our first part here that we already have our circle motion. Now what we're going to do is lengthwise, so you can actually see that laid out. So lengthwise is going to go from the head to the toes, and we're going to go in this motion through here in that arrow marking. That is going to be your lengthwise. Your crosswise is going to go across the abdomen here, going from side to side where you're really getting that concave curvature right in through here. Now, when we talk about doing a semicircle, you're going to do this half section here and make a little bit of a moon. That's going to be your semicircle working. Circular motion, going lengthwise, circular motion, going crosswise, circular motion, going semicircle to really get that curve out, circular motion, and then we can go into a transversal. Now that transversal, think a lightning bolt. It's going to go across and zigzag over as we're moving down the body to create a zigzagged arrow. So we're moving into the thigh, hip, and leg area. So coming through here, keeping in with our grid pattern for massage, we're going to be working lengthwise. And we're going to be doing our circle right through here. And we're going to be doing our cross section, coming this way, through the inner thigh, and through the top by the knee. So this is going to be our grid pattern going up and down, side to side. We're going to go up and down through here. And right at the butt and hip area, we want to create that circle. So we're going to be pulling up and down and pulling and circle, pulling and circle. We're going to again start with our vegetable glycerin, and we're just going to apply a nice thin layer. So coming through here, you can either work on the opposite side of your bed or you can work on the same side. Whatever body mechanics work for you and feels comfortable. I personally prefer to work on the opposite side of a table and lean over than to work on the same side. It feels better mechanic-wise and for height. So we're going to start right through here, stopping at the hip. We're going to work in a downward motion. And again, I'm holding it very gently like a pen. Now, if you have someone who is extremely petite, you can by all means go to the medium handpiece instead of using the larger handpiece. And when we come up to here, we're going to do that nice little swirl and work in that circle and bring it down. Come down, work in that circle, and bring it down. Then we're gonna start really contouring through this thigh and bringing everything up to where we want it to set, because we're gonna do that BBL on the next side when we flip over. So this is that baseline, getting it there. We're pulling everything up and resettling it where we want it to. Now we're doing our cross section over, and we're moving side to side. So now that we did the front side, we're gonna have our model flip over. Now that she's flipped, we're gonna go through it and we're gonna do our BBL. For those who are new, that is our Brazilian butt lifting, non-invasive. So we did the front thighs, the hips, and the inner thigh area. Now we're gonna do it on the back side. So we're gonna do the hip here to get that curvature, down through the back of the thigh area, the inner thigh, and also bringing up the butt. So we're gonna start with our markings. We're gonna get our markings in place so that this is a nice guideline so we know where we're at and what we're doing. This is also a good indication for you seeing, so you remember what steps we can do and how to mix them through. So remember, in the butt area, it's going to be a circular motion coming through right through here. And then you're going to have your U shape. Your U shape is guiding right through here to perk everything up and bring that up. So I'm gonna make those little arrows there. And of course, this is a circle. So remember though, we're going in a clockwise direction. We don't wanna go counterclockwise. So I'm just gonna give you your little arrows to know which way you're shaping there. Here, we're gonna go in our up and down. Up the leg, down the leg to help pull in and really shape and form. Through here, we're going to come into a downward section with that U shape so we can really curve this out and get that nice shelf. So this part is gonna do a U shape downwards instead of up. All right, we're gonna start in the butt area to get the client acclimated. Also, it gets you into the good rhythm and that RF heated up nicely. So we're gonna start right in through the side here, make contact with the skin, and we're gonna create those circular motions. We're going in a large circle and we're bringing it in like a spiral because we want everything to come to the center to get a nice perky round. And we're just getting that RF to start heating up. Remember, our RF is about 50%. We're at a 3 for our vacuum rate. And our pulse rate is all the way at a 7 because we want a really nice, smooth, even tone with everything and a nice, firm tightening. So as we're going in with this circle, I can start curving here with the round. And what this is doing is it's really helping create that shelf. Because not only do we want a great side profile, but we also want a great back profile and create that bubble. So we're gonna glide right through here and then we're gonna go back into our clockwise motion. After we do that clockwise motion a little bit, we're gonna bring this back down and we're gonna do that U shape right under the butt. Right through the hip and under the butt. This is pulling everything up so that we're bringing it all back and do that clockwise motion again. Once we've gotten acclimated and we've gone in our circles, to the feel, it's almost at that bathwater feeling. So we're gonna keep going again to get it to that 38 to 42 range. Or again, my nice little trick is once the skin feels like nice warm bath water, you're good to move on to your next section and then come back over to it. So now we're gonna move in our downward motion down the leg and start disrupting here. I'm doing the lengthwise motions, but I'm adding a little bit of an S shape to it in order to keep that motion going. And again, keep a nice light grip on it. The machine is doing the work for you. You're just guiding the machine where you want it to go. Don't hold it like this. We're not fisting the piece and trying to forcefully move it through. Just a nice, light, delicate motion. You don't want to wear yourself out after your first client. You want to be able to do 2 to 3 to 5 of these a day and make your good money. So we're going to move back up. We're going to do that U shape and go into our clockwise motion again. We're going to do our 1/2 circle through here. And we're gonna do our half circle underneath. So as you're about to remove your device and move to another area and stop, instead of lifting directly off the skin, you don't want to cause a flat back, you're going to go in, circle around, and you're just going to create an angle so that that vacuum pressure stops and you can glide right off the body. So now we're going to be moving into our underarm area. So at our screen here, we're recalibrated. We're on our medium headpiece. We have our RRF at about a 25, a little bit over. Our vacuum pressure is at a 1 because this is a delicate area. We don't need a lot of pressure. And then we do have our pulse rate, though, to help break everything up, put at a 7. You can work in between a 3 and a 7. I like to bring it all the way up, though, so we get the most disruption and we break everything up nicely and quickly. So now that we have that calibrated and set, we're going to turn this on and we can move right into that underarm area. So we're going to glide through our underarm area. We're going to move to the back of the arm and glide through the underarm area again. In order to get the underarm area and the front of the arm, you can go ahead and move your client's skin a little bit right through here, and you're just going to glide lengthwise through here. Once we have that going, we can start gliding in through here, and we're really helping reshape and tone this down and get rid of puffiness. We have that pesky area that starts to push out right through here, and what we're doing is we're gliding in and we're pushing back into the breast area to help that side boob that drifted go back into place where we want it to. This is going to act slightly like a breast lift a little bit on the sides and helping bring everything back in where it was bulging before. And so we're going to glide through this area here and bring everything back home. This is also helping recurve through in the shoulder blade area and bring this back in. Don't forget the underarm again. We want to heat this back up, move that arm where you need it to, and keep gliding. And then we're going to go into our half circle here and then again do lengthwise and push in to help really get that curvature. Once we've gotten that active and going, we can keep gliding through, and we're just going to keep rotating through. Now, this does act as one of your sessions that you're doing. So in this area, the underarm, the side underarm, and also going to the side boob area, this is going to be one of your 30-minute sessions. So this would be a part of your arms and side package, not your full body package, but your arms and side package. And lift off and glide nicely to detach from the skin. Now that we finished with the body segment of our LipoMax, we're going to be moving into the face section. And with that, I want to introduce you into one of the newest members of the Estetique line, and that is going to be our LumiMax LED. This is going to go through 7 different wavelengths of light therapy. We're going to be combining this in with contouring of the face because this is a great machine to combo with any of our treatments. With this one, we're going to be using our violet wave spectrum. With that is a combination of red light and blue light. Red light therapy is going to be great for anti-inflammation, and our blue light is going to be great for antimicrobial and bacterial to help with working on the face. So we're going to get this positioned so you can see all the ergonomic features with it, whether you're using it on a body segment or contouring for the face. Now that we're moving into our face segment, I'm going to take our vegetable glycerin, I'm going to add a light layer to the face décolletage area. So with this, we're adding this in so we have a nice fluidity with our machine. Also, so we don't get a friction and a pull. Remember, we're using a vegetable glycerin so that it glides nicely. You don't want to use a massage oil, and you don't want to use an ultrasound gel. They do get tacky after a while, and they will start pulling the skin. So we're going to put this right on the cheek area, all the way down through the décolletage, around the mouth. Because we're going to go in, we're going to contour the jawline, but we're also going to go around the lips. We're going to go into the cheeks and the under eye area, and then we're going to move into the forehead. So I just want to get all of this right through here, and that is nice and beautiful. So we have our LumiMax set, we have our violet light, and we already have our face calibrated for our machine. We have the facial tip on. Our RF is set to about 25%. We have a 1 for the vacuum, and our pulse rate is at a 7. So we're going to fire this up. When that starts, the blue light is going to come on right through here. The blue light instead of red light is for antibacterial for working in the face. So we're going to come right through here. Now, we're going to break this into zones. So we're going to have zone 1, 2 on the ridge, and 3 right above. We're going to work 1, 3, and back to 2. So 1, 2, 3. We're going to 1, 3, 2. That's the contour through here, chisel in through here, and then we're just gonna blend that line out. So we're gonna start right under the jaw. I'm gonna have the model tilt their head back just slightly so we can get in here, and we're gonna start gliding through. Now we have that RF going, and we're gonna glide back and forth through here. Now notice that I'm not stopping right in front of the earlobe. We are going all the way back behind the ears, because what happens is, if you stop right here, you're gonna create a nice jawline chisel, but the neck is gonna look really wide. So you wanna continue dragging all the way back so the neck does not get puffy as we're decreasing. So we're gonna keep moving back. Also, the nice thing with this is as we do this, this is bringing everything to that lymphatic area so we can drain out all that lymphatic fluid that builds up into the lymphatic system. So we're gonna keep gliding through here. The nice thing that I really love about our LumiMax is the ergonomic of it, where it's stationed, that you can have this positioned over a client and still glide with your machine and not get in the way of it. So we're going through here, we're really heating up this first area, gliding through all the way to the back of the ears. Now that we've done part 1, we're gonna jump into part 2. So now we're gonna come right here in between the lip and the chin, and we're gonna glide all the way back and bring it to the ear here. We're gonna really contour this in. So I want to keep my vacuum pressure low to prevent any type of bruising or hickey marking to the face. It's a delicate area, so you don't need to have an intense vacuum pressure. But we do want to have a high pulse rate to really help break everything up for that tightening and firming with that RF. So we did below the jawline, we're doing up above the jaw, and then we're going to go in and blend the two areas together. And we're going to go right on the ridge of that bone there. We're going to glide through area 1 again because we let that take a little bit of a break. Gliding through area 1, bringing that all the way back. And now I'm going to do sections through here. So I'm just going to keep pulling this back so we can get everything in line with that lymphatic system. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side here and pull all of that back. Once we've done that, we're going to go back into area 2 right above the ridge. And we're going to pop back in here, and I'm going to do strokes right over and across to the ear. Now is where we can start moving up the cheeks into the under eye area. So we're going to move all the way through here. And we're working in a cross-sectional direction. And then to get that nice chiseled look, we're going to start doing a diagonal pull. And this is also now going to help start pulling back into the cheek area to replump those cheeks. You don't want to neglect the other side, so we're going to do the same thing over on that side. So as we get that through, we're going to come in through here. And now that we did our cross-sectional and diagonal, we can go in and start doing our Nike swoop. So we would do a Nike swoop through here where the contour is and the lift of the cheek. But instead of dragging through to do that, we're going to do this tick motion. Remember on the body how we lifted off at an angle so we didn't snap the skin back? You're going to do the same thing, but in this Nike swoop. And you're going to pull everything up into the cheek. This is going to help really plump that cheek back up, slim everywhere else, but get that apple of that cheek nice and prominent again. You're basically saying, hey, everything that shifted, come back home and settle back where you belong. Once we go through and do this, we've already done 1, 2, and 3. We went into the cheeks and we started plump. Now we can tackle those really pesky areas where we get the marionette lines. So right through here in the marionette lines, we're going to do something that's a little non-traditional. Normally, we smile and everything gets pulled up. But in order to activate those marionette lines, we're going to pull down because they're going to say, hey, this isn't normal. What's going on? It's going to get them activated so that we can now start pulling up and really start diminishing those marionette lines. Now with that, I'm going to start going against the line. Instead of riding in the groove, we're going to go against it and start pulling everything back to the cheek. And really get that buffed out right through there. We're going to go back in, up and down again, right through that marionette line to really soften and remove it. And then we're going to go through and we're going to do that pull and those little tick marks again. We're gonna jump over and we're gonna do that on the other side as well. Pull down about 3 times to 4 times to get it activated, and then we're gonna go up and down to help start smoothing. And then I'm just gonna start my tick marks over again. This is a really nice way that we've moved through the neck, we've moved through the jaw, we've did our cheeks, and we started into the lip area. So now we're going into those marionettes and really helping break that up and get rid of that definition. And then we're gonna be able to transition into the lip area nicely. So once we do that a few times, we're gonna go back up and down, and then we're gonna do our tick marks again. We did our marionette lines, and now we're gonna transition into the lip. So we're gonna come right through this jawline, and we're gonna do the jaw, but we're also really creating this ridge through this lip line, and it's gonna help plump. So once we go back and forth a little bit to break everything up, we can start pulling in again and bringing in and help plumping that lip. And this is gonna really dominate where that chin protrudes and the lip starts to pop up and create that nice pucker. This is fantastic going through these motions here, especially for those who might be smokers and you need to get rid of those smokers lines. Or if somebody has a lot of filler or they have old treatments that have done and they start to pucker or they start to get the beading, you can go up and heat it up with that RF and really start to get everything to smooth back out so it doesn't have any of those little ridges. Yeah.
Okay, you're good to talk.
Okay, so now that we've gone through, we're gonna move up into the forehead area and we're gonna glide through here. Now this does not have a lot of tissue or skin, so we didn't apply a bunch of glycerin to here because there's enough glycerin on the tip of your device. But if you need a little bit just for comfort, you can add a small amount. We just don't want to add too much where it's going to start running down the eyes. We'll add a little bit in through there, and then we can start going in, and I'm going to do some little circular motions because I don't want to pull up or down in this area, and we're just going to work in circular motions. Glide through that triangular area and work in your circular motions. As we keep going in the circular motions, we can start working into the hairline. Work into the hairline because you don't want to stop right at the hairline and have a puffiness. That is one of the worst things you can have. So I'm going to slide this back just slightly so we can get more into this hairline here and we can glide right across through that hairline to really help slim. Now the next thing we can go in and do, because this travels over the hair nicely, is we can go in and we can do a little bit of a brow lifting. So we're going to come right in here. Your machine will stop at some point because you have a timer, so it stops at about 15 minutes. That's a good gauge so you know where you're at during a session of a 30-minute face piece. So if it stops halfway through and you're not halfway through your face, you know you need to pick up your speed, or if you've gone too fast, you know to slow down. So we're gonna go right through here. We're gonna go at the bridge and the brow area here, and we're gonna glide right through. We're not gonna pull down, we're gonna pull across into the temples because we wanna help lift this area up. And we wanna get that tightening in there. And we're going through the temples, gliding through. We don't want to leave an area untreated. So now that we've gone through here, I'm gonna work my way down, but in an upward motion. So I'm gonna go right here into the eye area. I'm going to start bringing this through and I'm going to start swooping up so that we keep that diagonal pull for that contouring. I'm going to switch over to the other side as well and I'm going to do the same thing. And then I'm really going to finish off through here and I am going to come back in area 3 and I'm going to go across. And I'm going to get this whole area under here as well to have a nice little contouring again. Just to make sure we really got the most prominent part that we're trying to cinch in. We're going to drag everything through here so we get a nice drainage and we don't get a puffy neck through the sides. Through the lymphatic area. Here we're draining everything out. Thank you for joining our training for our LipoMax RF face and body. Make sure to check out our quick tips and check back for more updates.